Banks made $15.4 billion last year on overdraft fees. Payday lenders extracted another $9 billion in predatory interest. Credit card companies, $130 billion in interest and fees, and all of it has one purpose: keep you below $20,000. I'm Max. I expose financial systems designed to keep you poor. And today, I'm revealing why $20,000 is the invisible threshold that separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke forever. Not because you're lazy, not because you're bad with money, because the entire financial system profits from keeping you under this number. By minute 10, you'll know exactly which corporations are extracting billions to prevent you from hitting $20,000. By minute 14, you'll understand why your grandparents could save this in 8 months, while you can't in 3 years. Subscribe now. Because what I'm about to show you is exactly what Wells Fargo, Chase, and every payday lender doesn't want you knowing. Chapter 2 reveals the neuroscience they're exploiting. Your brain in survival mode makes you more profitable for them. And Chapter 4 exposes the $400,000 scam most people fall for. Stay with me. Let's talk about a number Wall Street hopes you never hit. $20,000. Not $1 million, not 6 figures. $20,000. Cross this threshold and everything changes. Your brain rewires. Your options multiply. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly appear. But here's what they don't tell you. The system is designed to prevent you from ever getting here. Your grandfather in 1970, median salary, $9,400. He could save $20,000 in 25 months working a factory job. No degree, no special skills, just showing up and working. You in 2024? Median salary, $59,000. To save $20,000. That takes 38 to 48 months for most people. He made less money but could save this threshold faster. You make more money but it takes twice as long. How is that possible? Because between 1970 and now, an entire industry emerged whose business model is keeping you broke. Overdraft fees didn't exist at scale until the 1990s. Now, $15.4 billion annually. Banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America engineered fee structures specifically to drain accounts below zero. Payday loans barely existed in 1990. Now, $9 billion extracted annually at 400% APR from people who are desperate. Credit card interest, average APR in 1980, 13%. Today, 22% to 29%. Capital One, Discover, Citibank, they're making $130 billion annually in interest and fees. Every single one of these industries exists to extract money from people who don't have $20,000 saved. Because once you cross that threshold, you stop being profitable to them. Think of $20,000 like a force field. Below it, you're vulnerable to every financial trap they've engineered. Overdrafts, payday loans, high-interest credit cards, emergency debt. Above it, those traps lose their power. You have options, you have breathing room, you have leverage. And that's exactly why the system is designed to keep you below it. Chapter 2 reveals the neuroscience they're exploiting. When you're in survival mode, your brain cannot think about wealth building, and they know it. Here's where it gets dark. When you have zero savings, your brain operates in survival mode. This isn't a metaphor, it's neuroscience. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles long-term planning, strategic thinking, wealth building, it literally shuts down under financial stress. Vanguard studied this. Having just $2,000 in emergency savings increases financial well-being by 21%. $2,000, less than most people spend on a vacation. Why such a massive shift? Because it pulls you out of pure survival mode. Push that to $20,000 and you get another 13% boost. But more importantly, you've created enough breathing room for your brain to stop asking, how do I survive until next paycheck? And start asking, how can I grow this money? And here's what makes this sinister. They know this. Banks know that someone living paycheck to paycheck will pay $35 overdraft fees without pushing back because they're desperate. Payday lenders know that someone in survival mode will sign a loan at 400% APR because they need $300 right now to keep the lights on. Credit card companies know that someone without savings will carry a balance at 27% interest because they have no other option. The average American pays $250 to $400 annually in bank fees. For someone making $50,000, that's 1% of their income going straight to banks for nothing. Over 10 years, that's $2,500 to $4,000 extracted, money that could have been the foundation of their $20,000. You take a bad job because you can't afford to be picky. You stay in toxic situations because leaving feels too risky. You say yes to things you hate because you need the paycheck. This isn't weakness. This is your brain operating exactly as designed, in survival mode. And every corporation in the financial services industry is counting on it. But cross $20,000 and your brain rewires. Suddenly you're not reacting to whatever financial crisis pops up. You're proactively building wealth. You're thinking strategically instead of desperately. And the corporations that profit from your desperation, they lose their power over you. Chapter 3 reveals why your second $20,000 takes less time than your first. The math is insane, and the system hates when you figure this out. Let's talk about why the first $20,000 is the hardest, and why everything after gets exponentially easier. Save $1,000 per month, earn 8% annual returns. Getting to your first $20,000 takes 19 months. A year and a half of discipline, sacrifice, delayed gratification. It's brutal. Most people quit. But here's what will blow your mind. Your second $20,000 doesn't take another 19 months. It takes 17 months. Same work, same savings, same risk. But you shaved 2 full months off the timeline. Why? Because your first $20,000 was working alongside you. Your third $20,000? 15 months. Fourth? 14 months. Once you reach $400,000, you can generate your next $20,000 in just 5 months. The same amount that took you nearly 2 years initially now happens automatically through compound interest. Financial institutions don't want you understanding this acceleration because once you hit $20,000, you stop being a customer and start becoming a competitor. You're not paying overdraft fees anymore. You're earning interest. You're not taking payday loans. You're lending money through bond investments. You're not paying credit card interest. You're investing and earning returns. Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, these companies want you at this level because you become profitable to them in a different way. But Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Capital One, the fee-based banks, they lose money when you cross this threshold. That's why financial literacy isn't taught in schools. That's why your bank never calls to say, hey, you're paying too many fees. Here's how to stop. When you invest $1,000 and it grows 10%, you make $100. Take that same 10% growth, apply it to $20,000, and suddenly you're looking at $2,000 in profit. Same investment, same time frame, same risk. This is why hitting $20,000 feels like a turning point. Before this, investment returns feel insignificant. A 10% return on $2,000 is $200. Nice, but not life-changing. But a 10% return on $20,000 is $2,000. Now we're talking real money. When you've got $20,000 invested earning 8% annually, that's $1,600 flowing into your account over a year, without you lifting a finger. Money you didn't earn through your job. Money that showed up because your existing money was working for you. You've crossed the threshold where money makes money, and every corporation that profits from broke people hates that you're here. Chapter 4 reveals the $400,000 scam that keeps you broke. It's the purchase you think makes you successful, but actually destroys your wealth forever. Let me show you how most people destroy their shot at $20,000 before they ever get there. Cars. The average American spends $600 to $800 monthly on car payments, insurance, maintenance, and gas. Over 40 years, that's $400,000 just to get from point A to point B. Meanwhile, they're complaining they can't save for retirement. Ally Financial, Santander Consumer USA, GM Financial, auto lenders made $40+ billion in profit in 2023. How? By convincing you that a $50,000 truck on a 7-year loan is affordable because the monthly payment is $800. Drive that new car off the lot and it loses 20% of its value. Instantly. You're not just spending money, you're actively destroying wealth. But here's the real scam. That $30,000 car isn't just $30,000. If you invested that money instead at 8% annual returns, it would grow to $206,000 over 20 years. You traded $206,000 in future wealth for a car that'll be worth $3,000 in 10 years. Auto companies don't sell transportation anymore. They sell identity. You deserve this. You've worked hard. This is what success looks like. Ford, GM, Toyota. They spent $16 billion on advertising in 2023. All of it designed to make you think your car defines your worth, and it works. The person driving the flashy $60,000 truck? Probably stressed about money, working a second job to afford the payment, eating ramen to look successful. The person driving the 10-year-old Honda, quietly building wealth, sleeping better at night, crossing the $20,000 threshold while everyone else is trapped. You can look rich or you can be rich, but you can't do both. Every dollar you spend on that car payment is a dollar that's not compounding toward your $20,000 threshold. And Ally Financial is counting on you choosing the truck. Chapter 5 reveals what $20,000 actually unlocks. It's not just money in the bank. It's leverage, it's freedom, it's power. They don't want you having. Let me show you what actually happens when you cross this threshold. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, every unexpected expense is a disaster. Car repairs, laptop dies, rent increases. These are financial emergencies that derail your entire month. But when you have $20,000 in the bank, these same events become minor inconveniences. Your car needs repairs. Annoying, but not catastrophic. Your laptop dies. Time to upgrade. Even better, you start noticing opportunities that were always there, but you couldn't take advantage of before. Your friend is starting a business and looking for investors. Before, that sounds interesting. Now, you can actually throw $5,000 at it. A killer deal on a rental property pops up. Before, scroll past on Zillow and feel envious. Now, run the numbers and see if it makes sense. Your boss mentions a career-boosting conference, but the company won't pay. Before, make excuses. Now, weigh the ROI and go if it's worth it. Here's where things get really powerful. $20,000 gives you what I call walking away money. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're trapped. Your boss could be terrible. Your coworkers, toxic. The work mind-numbing. But you can't leave because you need that next paycheck to survive. This puts you in an incredibly weak negotiating position. But $20,000 changes everything. You could quit tomorrow and survive for 6 to 8 months while finding something better. This doesn't mean being reckless. It means negotiating from strength instead of desperation. You ask for the raise you deserve because the worst they can say is no. You push back on unreasonable requests because you're not afraid of consequences. You explore new opportunities because you can afford some risk. Here's what's crazy. You often don't even need to use this walking away money. Just having it changes your entire demeanor. You become more confident, more assertive, more willing to take on challenging projects. And people notice. You get better assignments, more recognition, and yes, more money. Every corporation wants you desperate. Desperate employees accept lower pay. Desperate workers don't push back. Desperate people don't negotiate. $20,000 makes you undesperate. And that's terrifying to them. Let me bring this home. The financial system is designed to keep you below $20,000. Wells Fargo makes billions on overdraft fees from people with no savings. Ally Financial profits from car loans to people who can't pay cash. Capital One extracts wealth through credit card interest from people living paycheck to paycheck. They need you broke. Your desperation is their profit margin. Your grandfather could cross this threshold in 2 years working a factory job. You can't do it in 3 years with a college degree, not because you're failing, because wage stagnation, predatory fees, and engineered debt have made it systematically harder. But here's what they can't take from you: understanding. Now you know why $20,000 is the invisible threshold, which corporations profit from keeping you below it, how compound acceleration works once you cross it, what opportunities unlock when you have leverage. That knowledge makes you dangerous to them. You can keep playing their game, working harder while they extract more, or you can cross the threshold and opt out of their profit machine. Start building that foundation today. Cut the car payment, avoid the overdraft fees, stop paying credit card interest. Every dollar you save is a dollar they don't extract. Every month you build is a month closer to leverage. Every year you compound is a year you become more independent. $20,000 won't make you rich overnight, but it will fundamentally change how you think about money, work, and opportunity. It's the difference between surviving and thriving, between reacting to life and designing it. I'm Max. The system wants you desperate. $20,000 makes you dangerous. If you want me to break down exactly how to save your first $20,000, explain the best investment strategies to accelerate from $20,000 to $100,000, or expose the other wealth thresholds they're hiding, drop a comment, subscribe, because this channel exists to show you the thresholds that actually matter and the systems designed to keep you from crossing them. The game is rigged, but now you know the rules. They don't want you learning.